Hello guys, and welcome to my brand new YouTube video, how to win cards effectively during card supply. So card supply happens at quite a few different times, rewards, squad battles, division rivals and weekend league. Also 6 PM sometimes EA release some cards onto the market. And also lightning round during promotions. These are perfect times to be winning cards using this method. Really important part before you start bidding on cards is to make sure that you are prepared for it. So I'm going to run through some of the things that I do to create lists and targets for myself to go after at card supply. There's loads and loads of methods, and I'll be releasing other videos as well, but these are just a few of the things that I do to create a list before I go into filters and onto the market and start buying players. One thing to remember, guys, is that cards prices will be kept increased by their demand. So if there is more supply than demand, the price of the card will drop. If there is more demand than supply, the price of the card will increase. Now at rewards, you can generally pick up cards a lot cheaper because there is a lot more supply than demand. But what we're looking for is cards that are needed in SBCs. Also, you can use meta players, which people will need for weekend league or to play the game. And the aim is to pick these cards up as cheap as possible when they drop in price, and then sell them when they bounce back. The first method or playlist that I'm going to show you guys is SBC players. So these are players that are needed in various SBCs. These can be advanced SBCs, player SBCs, league SBCs, and anything that means there is demand on a player. So this tool is available on FUTBIN, and you will also find a link for this in the comments for this video. Essentially, this is a list of the SBCs with the most valuable packs. When promotion cycles come around, people want to open more packs to give themselves a chance of packing one of the promotion players. And this is a great way to see which SBCs will hold the most value and which players will be the most profitable to pick up during rewards and card supply. Okay guys, so I'm going to pick up some players here to add to my list. I've decided which SBC looks like it has some good packs. I'm going to scroll across to this SBC and I'm going to select the cheapest current method. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these players in isolation and see their potential for profits and bounce back. Now it's important to look at players with green links like this because these are essential for completing the SBC. Non-rare players work the best because you can usually pick these up very cheaply on bids, and sometimes at discard, and obviously this helps to maximise potential profits. What I'm looking for here is fluctuations in price. So I'm looking across the graph to see if this player has peaks and troughs. If they do, that means they will make a great card to pick up and hold until their price increases. If you come across a player like this with no spikes in their price, this is a player that I would generally avoid. Okay guys, next up I'm going to teach you a little bit about league SBCs. So these are the ones that provide players specific to leagues, some great cards to be had. And there are some great tools out there, some great links. My advice would be to Google for league SBC spreadsheets, and there's absolutely loads out there. And essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the spreadsheet and I'm going to look at the packs which offer the best return in terms of pack value. Now once I've done that, I'm going to head over to FUTBIN and I'm going to check some of the players that I could pick up during rewards. So right here guys, what I'm doing is just checking out the SBCs for the leagues, having a look at the value of the packs, and also looking at which packs are included. Obviously during promotions people want packs, so this is a great way to find cards that will be in demand in these SBCs. As you can see here guys, I'm on the Bayern Munich League SBC. So the players that I'm looking for here are the green link players. These players will bounce back the best because they are required in the SBC. And I'm going to be circling them now. These are all cards that I'm going to add to my list, or some of them, to pick up Joe. So as you can see guys, I've managed to pick myself some players that I want to add to my list for rewards. I usually use notes to do this. It's really easy to flip between notes and the market whilst you are bidding. So pretty much all I'm doing is writing down the player name. Sometimes it's helpful to write down their rating or their position, just so you can find them quicker on the market. But I'm also going to make a note of their selling price. Obviously this will help me to decide what I'm going to bid on them, and also the potential profit that I can make by winning these cards. Also guys, don't forget, before you bid on these cards, you would also need to check the minimum buy now price on the market. I'm going to work my bids just off an average, knowing that these cards generally bounce back and fluctuate in price. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to target budget specific players. Now it's important to bid on cards within your budget. I try to pick up at least 50 cards during rewards, and it's important to be able to bid on 50 cards each time that you go to the market. This means that you win the maximum number of cards and make the maximum amount of profit. To work out my budget specific players, I take my total coin balance, divide this by 50, and this will give me the value of a player that I want to go and bid on. This means that I can place 50 bids each time that I go to the market and potentially win 50 players around this value. This is kind of a rough figure, but it's best to work off 50 each time that you want to divide your coins to make your player budget. Okay guys, so once I've worked out my bid price on these players using the method shown on the last graphic, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over to notes, and this is where I'm going to add my players and their prices so that I'm ready for rewards and ready to place bids on these players. Now these are the bids that I set myself to pick players up. I don't go into bidding wars. Only if I'm trying to figure out how much a player is selling for is the only time I would bid on a player twice. Essentially, it's great to get at least 10, 15, maybe even 20 players on your list using this method, because these are the players that are going to show up in the filters and that we also provide you on SIP. Okay guys, so next up I'm going to show you how to bid on the market. This is pretty straightforward and is probably the easiest thing about this tutorial. But also it's important to look at what times you are doing things. So when card supply comes out, immediately there is an option to try to snipe players that are listed too cheap on the market. But then after that you want to be going into the mass bidding techniques using your maximum bid. So this video will show you a little bit about how I bid on players. You'll see some wins, you'll see some losses, and you'll also see some snipes along the way too. Also, whilst you are checking out the minimum buy now prices of your players, sometimes you will see an opportunity to snipe a player. So this is a great opportunity to win cards. If it's close to your maximum bid, buy that card straight away on buy now. This will save you bidding on them and you can sell them later for profit. Okay guys, so I've managed to get my list together. I've been having a look about the market. I've done a few snipes and the time is 7 minutes to 9, which means in about 7 minutes the very first cards that were listed on the market, because the card were released at 8 AM, this means it takes 60 minutes minimum for these cards to hit the market. So this is why the time is important. So essentially, if cards are released at 8 AM, this is when you snipe. At 9 AM, this is when you would bid on the cards. So guys, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music and let you watch me placing bids, seeing how I'm winning players, and also rechecking my list and checking bins. Make sure you watch this part of the video because you'll see how fast that you need to work and also how essential it is to keep checking your bids. Right, so next up we have progressed through the day a little bit. I've been winning the odd card on Snipe, but mainly I've been checking to see how the market's going, placing a few bids, seeing if I can pick up a few cards and just getting a general feel for the market. But now it's 9 AM and this means the cards that were released into rewards are going to be released into the market and available to pick up on bids. I'm actually a minute late, but from here I'm going to start bidding on my target players. Again, I'm going to leave you with a bit of music so you can see, and I will interject in a few key parts of this video for the next few minutes if I feel that it's needed. Okay guys, so right here I'm searching one of the players on my list and you can see that the nearest card at my bid price is 43 minutes away. To me this means that the card supply is very low, but also means that somebody else is probably bidding on them and potentially bidding on them a little bit too high. So this is a card that I would leave for later. So as you can see, I've been bidding away on quite a few cards. I always try to get at least 50 bids in. Some of these cards I will win, some of them I won't. But I will just keep plodding on and placing as many bids as I can, making sure that I'm checking the market as I go, just to make sure that I'm placing the correct bids on the players that I want to win. Okay, so I've been doing okay on these players and filters, but what I'm going to do now is just switch things up a little bit, try a different filter, see which players are showing up, and then I'll head over to FUTBIN and check some players' prices. Also, it's great to see which players are showing up regularly in filters. If you see a big supply of one player, head over to FUTBIN, check their graphs, have a think about which SBCs they may be in, and also make sure you check their minimum buy now price, and then you can go back to the beginning and work out their bids. Here I'm just placing a few speculative bids, and what this will help me do is see what price these players actually sell for, and then I'll be able to make an informed decision on whether I want to bid on them or not. It's important to be able to switch your tactics, job and rewards. You can get very frantic and it's also very busy. So the best thing to do is, if you aren't winning, is to change up your tactics. Also guys, as I'm going along, if I see a card that pops up that's worth placing a bid, based on my market knowledge, I'm not scared to pop in the odd bid on a few players. While you're working on filters, sometimes you will get to see some other players and other opportunities. So if you know the market or know the bid prices, feel confident to put some bids in. If not, you can always check these across on FUTBIN and the live market to give you a rough idea. Okay guys, so here you can see the dreaded red message. You've probably come across this quite a lot when bidding. This means that you've placed too many actions on the market. Now one thing I like to do is go across to my squad and add a contract or a consumable to a player, maybe switch a few positions around. This helps the app realise that you are not actually a bot, and you should be able to log back in and start bidding again quite quickly. Okay guys, so I've loaded up one of the filters that we provide our members exclusively across on SIP, and a couple of players are showing up that I've not placed any bids on yet. So what I'll do is take a look at these, try and work out some minimum bins, minimum buy now prices that is, and see if I can pick some of these cheap up on bids too. As you can see guys as well, I am sort of really mixing things up now. Sometimes if you place a speculative bid, they do come in. I probably spend about 80% of my time placing bids on my target players, but also taking a look at the market and see what's going on, seeing if I can win a few random cards with random bids. Also guys, sometimes you will make mistakes. So here you can see that I've gone a little bit too high on this card. I'm probably going to lose a few thousand coins, but do not worry, this happens. I can keep him in my club, and you only lose coins if you sell him at a loss. So for this card, I'm quite happy to leave him in my club until he raises in price in the future, and then sell him at that time. Okay, so I'm going to look at this guy here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Galucha, maybe. Now I'm going to see that he's been showing up in quite a lot of filters. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is important, is I'm going to see if he's available on bids. If he is, I'm going to head over to FUTBIN and check his graphs, sort of see his general price and how he generally trades. And then what's really important is I'm going to work out what my bid price should be. Again guys, I'm seeing a little bit of Vardy action in the market, so what I'll do is I'll head over to his graph on FUTBIN, check his card, and you'll see me make a mistake here. So don't forget, some players have had upgrades, which means they are very difficult to filter with FUTBIN. And sometimes you end up buying or bidding on the lower value card. So in this case, Vardy has an 82 and an 85 rated card. So you'll see that I waste a little bit of time here doing this. So when you're checking for cards, check to see if they've got an upgrade and make sure you are bidding on the correct card, or just avoid them. Okay, so one of my players, Becky, it looks like his supply is starting to dry up a little bit. So if you start to see players not available, this means that people are bidding above your bid price that you've set. So you've got two options here. You can bid higher and hope that they rebound more and try to make some profit, or you could just leave them. So as you can see in the won items, guys, I'm starting to get a few wins on board now, which is great. So I'm just going to keep the momentum going and keep bidding on players. So right now I'm going to mix things up again a little bit and enter one of our filters. This is a great way to find players in your price range, and one of the great things about being a SIP member is that you get access to all of the filters that we use for each rating, special cards, icons, the whole shebang. Okay guys, so I'm going to take a look at one of my Bayern Munich players, Tolisso. First thing I'm going to do, as always, is check his minimum buy now price, take away 5% for EA tax, and then I'm also going to add in my profit margin that I want to win on this card, and then I'm going to head over and see if I can win some of these cards. So I have been seeing quite a few Higuains popping up while I've been bidding, so I'm going to work out his price here for bidding using the live market always, as much as you can, and I'm going to head over and try and win a few of these cards on bids too. Okay guys, so I've had a bit of a go on my target list. I'm doing okay. Obviously I'm making a YouTube video at the same time, so not quite as successful as usual. So I'm just going to head over and have a look at some high rated players. Same principle applies. I'm going to be looking at their FUTBIN prices Trying to get a rough idea of their selling price and try and win up a few of these on bids also. Higher rated players usually mean that you can make bigger profit margins. I usually aim for 1,000 to 2,000 coins if I'm winning cards during lightning rounds, and then sell them when the card supply is shortened and the price increases again. Okay guys, as I'm doing this, I'm going to stick with the Bayern Munich theme. I was looking at a card, Neuer, look, see if I can win some of these on bids. He's a great player, he's often used in SBCs, higher rated ones, but as you can see, when I search for this player at my bid price, or a rough bid price, there is no supply on this card. So this means demand is very high, or people are not listing this card. Again, it's probably better to leave these cards because it's 37 minutes until you know whether you win it or not. Okay guys, so that pretty much concludes everything. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Just in that short time, I was only bidding at 20 minutes or so each time. You can see that I managed to pick up about 45 cards. All these cards are used in SBCs, all of them are needed, and they will all bounce back. I'm expecting I'll make some good profit from these, at least 30k, maybe even 40 or 50. Now what I normally do is check the market around 2 PM in the afternoon, and if I'm happy with the price, I list and sell. Thanks very much for watching again guys. Make sure if you haven't already you are subscribed to my channel, and make sure you keep an eye out for more videos. For anybody that's interested in finding out more trading methods, we have a fantastic Discord called SIP. We are actually the largest paid Discord in the world, with over 30 experts in trading, squad building, flipping, icon flipping. You can head over to my channel and click on the icon that says join SIP. Also, if you've got any questions, feel free to DM me on my Twitter account, which you can also find linked on my account. Thanks very much guys, bye bye.